Osrc News at 7. Ondo State Government's initiative brings hope through financial empowerment of widows. Governor Aiyedatiwa applauds efforts to preserve Bode Olajumoke's legacy. Court orders Senate to reconsider recalling Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan, finds Senator guilty of contempt. And from the foreign scene, Kyiv hit by fresh drone strikes as Putin rejects Trump's truce bid. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on OSRC television. My name is Oyewumi Ayinigbara. The Ondo State government has taken a significant step by empowering widows in the state through the provision of 50,000 naira, free healthcare delivery and skills acquisition training, among others. This initiative by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa's administration is expected to foster economic independence and integrate widows into the state's development strategy. OSRC's Adewumi Taiwo has more.
It was a gathering of important personalities, directors across various departments and widows at the Baba Funke Ajasin Hall, Ondo State Ministry of Women Affairs, Alagbaka, Akure. The event was to commemorate the 2025 International Widows Day. The program was designed to provide financial support, free healthcare delivery and vocational training to widows, as well as enable them start or expand their businesses. 50,000 naira grant has been provided to each beneficiary, while the skills acquisition training will equip them with the necessary skills to become self-sufficient.
I'll be using this so that you can do it easily from your homes. You don't need mixer before you can do your small cake.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, represented by a special advisor to the governor, Dr. Seun Osamaye, said the program will mark a significant impact in the lives of the widows in Ondo State.
By thanking the governor of Ondo State, His Excellency Dr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who is not paying lip service to governance, but instead we can see through his visionary leadership, visible actions that can be immediately implemented, making sure that our women, especially the most vulnerable among us, have access to grants that can improve their lives and their social welfare. Today we are marking the 2025 International Widows Day, and women drawn across Ondo State, over 400 of them. You can see them. They are physically present to be trained in different programs.
The key highlight of the event was the skills acquisition training and presentation of a 10 million naira check to the widows in Ondo State.
On behalf of widows in Ondo State, we appreciate our own governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa. We say thank you very much.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women Affairs, Mrs. Odushola, and others reiterated that the widows should utilize the grant accorded to them judiciously.
The Governor of Ondo State is trying as much as possible to strengthen the women in Ondo State, and as a result of that, our widows are not left behind.
One of the beneficiaries said she gained a lot from the vocational training, appreciating the state government for this great initiative.
The training has really helped me to boost my knowledge, because I have a little knowledge about all this, but today I'll be able to expand on the knowledge today. So I thank God. And not only that, we are being given the free medical that will be enjoying free medicals from the clinic.
The Ondo State government initiative to empower widows with grants and skills training is a commendable effort towards promoting economic independence and social well-being. With effective implementation and continuous support, this program has the potential to make a lasting impact on the lives of widows and their families. Adewumi Taiwo, OSRC News.
Bode Olajumoke Education and Hospitality Initiative BOHI, a foundation set up by friends and admirers of the senator to preserve his values through educational support and human development, has been officially unveiled. It was part of the activities to mark the 81st birthday of Senator Bode Olajumoke, who, according to dignitaries, has contributed positively to the national growth. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa also joined in the felicitation, describing the octogenarian a man whose legacy continues to inspire generations. Government House correspondent Zemo Ebiem reports that former Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko delivered a lecture on the topic Conqueror, Conquered and Consequences, a discourse on brain drain to commemorate the event. The report is presented from our studios.
Time may age the body, but it cannot dim the light of service, character, and impact. For Senator Bode Olajumoke, 81 years is not just a number. It's a story of grace, leadership, and generosity written across time and woven into the lives of many. At a public lecture held in Akure to mark his birthday, tributes flowed freely from loved ones, including former Managing Director of Osrc, Mr. Adeyemi, painting the portrait of a man whose life has been devoted to uplifting others.
I wish you a very robust head to continue to serve humanity. He was selfless and made his impact felt. I have nobody. You can say how far he is from me, but we felt his impact. So I can say for everybody.
A man that means same thing to everybody. A man of honor who has used his wealth to touch humanity, who has trained orphans in hundreds, who has provided succor to disabled.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, represented by his deputy, Dr. Olaide Adelami, described the celebrator a distinguished son of Ondo State, an accomplished technocrat, a respected statesman, and a quiet giver whose kindness knows neither tribe nor religion. The governor held the initiative a worthy tribute to a man who has made lifelong investments in many.
There are many things that define him as a leader. It's not because of the position he held as a senator, but the impact he was able to make when he was on that seat. And even outside the seat, he also made impact.
Chairman on the occasion, former Chief of Staff to the Ondo State Governor, Olugbengali, also described the elder statesman, a beacon of hope, a lover of the masses, and a son of Imeri, whose name rings beyond the boundaries of his hometown around the Ondo-Edo border.
He's a man who has given all his life to serving the people. Right from when he was in public service, when he was a senator, and even now, he's a philanthropist.
Guest speaker on the occasion and former governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, presented a historical analysis on the topic Conqueror, Conquered and Consequences, a discourse on brain drain, stressing that authorities must create an enabling environment that will encourage Nigerian brains for the nation's services and development.
Brain drain is a legacy of conquered people. Yes or no? The realization of this should be able to engender political will for change in the people. Yes or no? When you strip it of
Senator Bode Olajumoke, visibly moved by the turnout and goodwill, thanked the gathering for choosing to celebrate him while he's alive.
Whenever a Cancerian is celebrating, there must be rain. So I thought, in fact, to have had the kind of audience we had when we started, I was insisting, I was saying to the organizers, we must start on the dot of 12. In spite of the heavy rains that came in this morning, I want to say I'm so grateful to you for honoring me.
The high point of the celebration was the formal unveiling of the Bode Olajumoke Education and Hospitality Initiative, BOEHI, a foundation set up by friends and admirers to preserve the senator's values through educational support and human development. In every sense, it was a celebration not just of age, but of impact, legacy, and the enduring power of a good name.
You're still watching Osrc News at 7 after the break. Court orders Senate to consider recalling Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan and find Senator guilty of contempt. Please to rejoin us for this and more.
Hooray! Niger Delta, it's time to give thanks because the NDDC is 25 and we invite you to join us for a Thanksgiving service to commemorate this celebration. The past 25 years has been a period of great development and milestone achievements for the Commission in all 9 states of our oil-rich region, such as over 5,200 kilometers of roads constructed, over 57,000 solar street lights installed across the region, the 132/33 kV electricity substation in Okitipupa, and many more. For all of these, we have deemed it fit to say thank you to the Lord. Date: Sunday, the 6th of July 2025. Venue: St. Thomas Anglican Church, Akure, with the reception to follow immediately at the Dome International Event Center, Akure, Ondo State. The NDDC, 25 years of making a difference.
The best thing we are doing now is putting housing on the front burner of our needs. We have a successful inclusiveness and know that it's and invest in their own life, a fair society. We will launch a bold new initiative to empower 400,000 young Nigerians, including youth corpers, with consumer credit.
The dream is realizable. The way we are going, we have a road that we have lived all of us. That is how to build the future.
Powered by Grassroots Movement for Tinubu GMT, Ondo State Chapter. GMT, in God we trust.
Go.
Thank you very much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has ruled that the Senate acted beyond its powers by suspending Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan for 6 months, ordering her immediate recall to the Red Chamber. Justice Binta Nyako, who delivered the judgment, described the duration of the suspension as excessive and without a clear legal foundation. The judge pointed out that since the National Assembly is only required to sit for 181 days in a legislative year, Suspending a lawmaker for roughly that same length of time effectively silences the voice of an entire constituency, a move she described unconstitutional. However, the court sided with Senate President Godswill Akpabio on a separate issue, stating that his refusal to allow Akpoti Uduaghan to speak during a plenary on the grounds that she was not seated in a designated chair did not amount to a violation of her rights. Nyako also dismissed Akpabio's argument that the judiciary had no business interfering in what he called an internal affair of the legislature, stating that fundamental rights and representation are matters squarely within the court's purview. In a twist, the court imposed a fine of 5 million naira on Akpoti Uduaghan for breaching a prior court directive that barred both parties from making public statements about the ongoing legal matter. Still on judicial matters, 8 Chinese nationals have been convicted and sentenced by a federal high court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, for their involvement in cyber terrorism and internet fraud. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission secured the conviction and sentence of the Chinese before Justice Chukwujeku Aneke. The convicts are among the syndicate of 792 alleged cryptocurrency investment and romance fraud suspects arrested on December 19, 2024 in Lagos during a sting operation conducted by EFCC operatives. The conviction marks a significant milestone in EFCC's ongoing effort to clamp down on international cybercrime syndicates. The federal government, in a bid to improve policing, is set to unveil smart police stations nationwide. To achieve this, Galaxy Backbone GBB and the Nigerian Police Trust Fund (NPTF) have signed a memorandum of understanding to collaborate and deploy technology for the creation of smart police stations across Nigeria. Speaking after signing the MOU, Managing Director of GBB, Ibrahim Adinyoju, emphasized that the collaboration would provide high-speed fiber connectivity, cloud platforms, and secure digital infrastructure to support the deployment of smart police stations. NPTF Executive Secretary Mohammed Shiudu noted that the initiative is part of broader efforts to modernize police force and enhance its effectiveness in maintaining law and order. The partnership is expected to significantly improve public safety outcomes by enabling more data-driven decision-making, improved incident response times, and greater transparency in law enforcement. In health, the Lagos State government has vowed to begin the enforcement of compulsory health insurance policy for residents. According to the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Health Management Agency, Dr. Emmanuel Zamba, the enforcement would begin in earnest early 2026 in line with the executive order by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in July 2025. The order mandates that residents must show evidence of enrollment in a health insurance scheme before accessing public health services, excluding emergencies. To further strengthen identity management and prevent fraud, Zamba disclosed that it has partnered with Lagos State Resident Registration Agency to roll out biometric card readers across health facilities. The Permanent Secretary noted that the state currently has over 865 accredited providers, ranging from primary healthcare facilities to specialists in dental and eye care, as well as community pharmacies. And still talking health, the Edo State Ministry of Health has confirmed the outbreak of dengue fever, reporting 86 cases across the state. Commissioner for Health, Cyril Eshiomole, gave the figure in Benin, where he assured that the administration of Governor Monday Okebolo remains fully committed to protecting residents and will continue to work until all outbreaks are brought under control. Apart from dengue fever, the commissioner also said the state has recorded 137 confirmed cases and 24 deaths from yellow fever, monkeypox, and diphtheria. He urged all health workers across the state to be on high alert and to report any suspected case promptly. In a landmark event that underscores the Rotary Club of Akure Prestige's unwavering commitment to community service and fellowship, the club has held its official handover ceremony and awards presentation. The event marks the formal transition of leadership from the outgoing administration to a new team led by Rotarian Ajibade Kolawole, who will pilot the club's activities in the coming year. Our correspondent Adewumi Taiwo now completes the story.
It was a moment of excitement and celebration for Rotarians who gathered at the Rotary Civic Center in Alagbaka, Akure. The ceremony reflected the club's enduring spirit of service and camaraderie while laying the groundwork for another year of impactful projects under new leadership. Rotarian Ajibade Kolawole formally took over the reins, pledging to build on past achievements. His flagship initiative focused on renovating and equipping hostels at the Ondo State School for the Hearing Impaired in Akure reflects the club's deep commitment to inclusivity and care for vulnerable groups.
Rotary members engage in various humanitarian projects such as disaster relief, healthcare initiatives, and educational programs. Community development Rotarians are inspired people. Thus, we contribute to community development projects, promoting economic growth, social justice, and environmental sustainability. Personal growth. By putting others first, Rotarians develop valuable skills, build meaningful relationships, and thus experience personal growth.
The key highlights of the day was the presentation of awards and certificates of recognition to outstanding members for their contributions to the club's mission. Immediate past president Mr. Oloruntoba Adegoke and other key members reflected on the achievements and challenges of the outgoing administration. They expressed optimism that the new leadership would surpass expectations in the years ahead.
Immediately we came in, the exchange rate jumped up. And Rotary International, everything we do is on dollars. So it's on exchange rate. So it was a very challenging task for a club to move from the sum of 60,000 naira due to 200,000 naira. So by virtue, myself as the president and the board of directors decided to subsidize the sum of 50,000 from the dues.
We have this fulfillment when we are able to do to the underserved, the underprivileged, that cannot come back to say thank you to us. So we are fulfilled, we are happy when we are able to join our resources together to help, humanity.
What Rotary is all about, service above self. So this is not about how to acquire wealth. It's not about changing your vehicle. It's not about building a big house in an estate. It's about doing something for those that are not as privileged as we are.
As the Rotary Club of Akure Prestige turns a new chapter under the leadership of Rotarian Kolawole, it remains unwavering in its mission to serve humanity, foster fellowship, and drive positive change. With a legacy of impactful service and a renewed vision, the club is poised to make an even greater difference in the community. Adewumi Taiwo, Osrc News.
And now to the foreign scene. A pall of acrid smoke hung over Kyiv following a day of intensive Russian strikes that hit almost every district of the capital. The hours of darkness were once again punctuated by the staccato of air defense guns, bursts of drones, and large explosions. Ukraine said Russia fired a record 550 drones and 11 missiles during a day-long bombardment. The strikes came a day after a phone call between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, with which Trump said he was disappointed that Putin was not ready to end the war against Ukraine. At least 23 people were wounded in the attacks on Kyiv, with railway infrastructure damaged and schools, buildings, and cars set ablaze across the capital. In sports, as part of efforts to promote healthy living and engage youth through sports, the Ondo State government has joined the global community to commemorate the 2025 Olympic Day run in Akure. Government House correspondent Winga Oluwajana reports that the symbolic walk was led by top government functionaries and key stakeholders in the sports sector. The report is presented from our studio.
It was a morning of movement and motivation in Akure as the Ondo State government reaffirmed its commitment to sports development by leading the 2025 Olympic Day run from the government house to the Ondo State Sports Complex. The Deputy Governor, Dr. Olaide Adelami, who represented Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa at the event, described sports a unifying force and a vital tool for both physical and mental well-being.
Today, we gather to celebrate the spirit of sportsmanship, unity and excellence that defines the Olympic Games. Sports creates a sense of belonging and shared identity. The 2025 Olympic Day run is a demonstration of our commitment to promoting a healthy lifestyle and fostering a culture of physical fitness among our people. This event, no doubt, brings together athletes, sports enthusiasts, and citizens by promoting unity, teamwork, and sportsmanship.
He emphasized that Governor Aiyedatiwa remains committed to prioritizing the welfare of sportsmen and women across the state.
Ondo State government has made it a priority to invest in the development of sports infrastructure, talent identification, and athlete development programs. We are putting several initiatives in place to promote sports excellence, including the development of sporting facility across the state, purchase of up-to-date sports equipment, and training of both coaches and athletes.
Representative of the Nigerian Olympic Committee, Sylvester Ikoejamuye, commended the state government for its consistent support for sporting activities and for upholding the ideals of the Olympic spirit.
We have a governor and the deputy that are sports loving. I can say with all sense of responsibility that available to me from records across the state, Ondo State will always be represented by the highest ranking officer of the state or ably represented. And this should be on record, and it will be part of my report to the national body.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, Mrs. Tolulope Adeyemi, stressed the importance of promoting active lifestyles and fostering community participation through initiatives like the Olympic Day run.
You could see that joy in all of us. And apart from the physical attributes, the wellness that it brings to the body, there is this thing, unity, as well as it engenders team building.
Observed globally on June 23, the Olympic Day run celebrates the founding fathers of the modern Olympic movement and encourages people of all ages to stay active while promoting peace, unity, and inclusion through sports.
And with that sports report, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you that the Ondo State government has provided financial support for some widows in Ondo State. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has praised the efforts to preserve Senator Bode Olajumoke's legacy. And we also told you that a federal high court has ordered the immediate recall of suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaha to the Red Chamber. And from the foreign scene, Ukraine the reports that Russia has intensified airstrikes on capital Kiev despite the truce called by U.S. President Donald Trump. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Good evening.